What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And this one I want to talk about what's going on with NIO stock, what you should be watching for as time progresses. I'm also going to break down some very important information about the overall market and what's happening with NIO. But before I break anything down, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. On the daily time frame, NIO has been testing the 200 EMA at 9.69. I think that a break above this would be very, very healthy. But in order for this to happen, we want to see this thing not just break here, but on the weekly time frame, we want to see this thing try to get above or at least retest the 50 EMA at this 10.22 area. Now, on the weekly, we're about to get a bullish cross on the PPO as we're looking quite bullish. And if we do end up doing so, we could see some more upside for NIO. But we first have to break that resistance for us to turn more bullish. We're looking more bullish on the weekly, and there's a good chance it's going to push up more. But my view of SPY and the other tickers is still a little bit different from that of NIO. So I want to talk about the market as well, and also NIO over the next couple of minutes. But let's first talk about some big news. So as a reminder for tomorrow, there's actually not much coming out. So let me actually just show you this. For tomorrow, which is going to be Friday, we have the Chicago PMI report coming out, and that's pretty much it. No more data after that, and that's going to be the last trading day of the year. I think the market's going to try to hold up because those hedge fund managers, they want decent looking balance sheets. They're going to try to hold the market up. Then we might start to see a correction in 2024 as recessionary fears remain, at least for, I would say, the first few months. I think the second half of 2024 is going to be bullish, but the first half is going to see some consolidation and changes like that. I also think that for January, the market might start a pullback as we're seeing the market at extremes. I think that's very probable. But for tomorrow, we're not in January yet. We're close, but we're not there yet. For tomorrow specifically, the market might still hold up as we have the last day of the year. Now, when it comes to other pieces of news, I just want to mention that we have a 1.96 puts to call ratio tomorrow on SPY, which suggests that there are more shorts out there, and the market makers may try to squeeze shorts once again. When it comes to NIO, we had some good news that came out. However, NIO actually saw over a 1,000 kilometer drive, which was very, very awesome to witness. Very, very nice looking push for NIO strides and etc. William Lee binge rode an ET7 for 14 hours in the live stream. It just shows how efficient NIO is and for how long their batteries could last. That is once again very, very impressive and very, very incredible. On top of all of this, as NIO is capable of going for very long durations of time, with its next gen battery, it's going to be entering mass production in April of 2024 with the new model coming out that they announced, not to mention a new AI development. This is bullish news for NIO as they're entering the AI space and AI autonomous driving technology. And on top of this, NIO has very, very long ranges, and battery swapping is still very, very popular as it saves lots of users lots and lots of time. That's great news for NIO. Very excited for how things are going for them with this technology. And as a result, Mizuho is giving NIO a buy rating. Deutsche Bank is doing the same thing. The price price ratio is going up as NIO is gaining some strength, and Fridays tend to be green about 53% of the time. They tend to be good days. Look for volatility at 11 o'clock a.m. and also around 2 p.m. Those are the most volatile hours for NIO. Also, the last trading day of the day, the last trading hour of the day, tends to be quite bullish for NIO. So those are some good times to be just watching the stock. Besides that, we have a 91 million in volume. That's well above average. That's not bad for NIO. And I'm very excited for what the future holds. But what do I see for NIO going forward? Let me just break this down now. In my opinion, the weekly looks bullish as long as we close where we are right now. And if we push more, 10.22 is on the table, but we have to break above a key resistance first. On the daily time frame, if you look at the daily, we have the 200 EMA at this 9.69 area. So that's going to be our daily 200 EMA. If we break above this, we're going to be looking for more upside, right? The daily looks bullish thus far. We're looking strong. We need to break this resistance. If we break this, I could see NIO breaking out to at least 10.22 for a nice, nice, nice move. If we reject off this and we see NIO come down, we're going to be watching 8.7 or so. If we fail to hold it, there's a gap to fill at 8.4. So that's going to be our key supports if we do end up losing $9. As of right now, we look bullish and we favor the bulls as we're making higher highs and higher lows. So NIO is uptrending very nicely and starting to outperform the market. But as far as SPY goes, I want to call out something very important. SPY, in my opinion, is in the topping process as we have a rising wedge and we have a triple bearish divergence, which is starting to develop again. We have a bearish divergence on the daily, also on the 4-hour time frame. These don't always play out, guys. They weren't working very well, at least for the last month, because of how the market just pumped and pumped like there was no tomorrow. But this time around, I think that it might play out because I think that the market is becoming exhausted. We're starting to lose volume, we're starting to consolidate, and we're seeing many indicators such as the fear and greed index at these extremes. So I think that for 2024, there's going to be a pullback coming in January. I think the market needs to pull back in a very healthy fashion. It's long overdue. I don't know if it's going to happen immediately, but I think it may happen sometime in January. Now, for today, not today, sorry, tomorrow, SPY might hold up very decently, and the reason it might hold up quite nicely is because of the fact that we're very close to this resistance at this 478 area. I think that it might hold up because of all the puts expiring and because of the fact that the market is just getting ready for the year end. They might try to hold us up very close to where we are for a strong close for the year before we see some more downside. So tomorrow's going to be a big day as it's the last trading day of the year. Watch 478 as resistance and 480. If we break the high of the day from today, if we lose 476, we could turn bearish. In my opinion, it's going to hold up for the most part. On the QQQ, make sure you watch resistance at 412. We're looking a little bit weaker, but 412 is going to be a key level if we could try to get back towards there. I think the QQQ is going to break down soon to fill this gap at 408. We might push again, kind of consolidates tomorrow, and then break down starting in 2024 to 408 or even below that. But I think that's very probable. So make sure you watch that 412 resistance, watch support at 411 and then 410, at least for the time being. As far as Nvidia goes, we were talking about this thing hitting 498 to 500. We actually tested that today. We reached that level of resistance today. We held up quite nicely, but I see two possibilities. Either we kind of hold up tomorrow and then we start to break down when we start to see Nvidia retrace towards 490, or what might happen is Nvidia just starts not tomorrow, but it starts in 2024. So either it kind of like pushes and then drops in 2024, or it holds up for tomorrow and then drops in 2024. So I see a pullback coming for Nvidia. Could push up and hold up for one more day before the pullback starts in 2024. I think that's what's going to likely happen. We have a rising wedge that's forming, so just be very careful with the charts. Watch 498 and 500 as resistance. Watch support at 495, 492, and then 490, and also 488. Watch those levels very carefully and do what you have to do, guys. Finally, for Tesla, and then I'm going to talk about Tesla and Apple before I talk about NIO. Tesla, in my opinion, got lots of bad news that came out. There's lots of news about senators calling for a recall. There's bad news involving one of their robots. Lots of bad news came out. Caused Tesla to reject. I'm going to be looking for a balance because Tesla has dropped way too hard, in my opinion, and way too fast. If we take our Fibonacci retracement, what typically happens is when we drop like this, we tend to come back to where the 0.618 retracement area happens to be. So it could actually come back to 258 or so and then reject back down. Going to be looking to see if this thing could kind of get bought back up because it's going to be the last day before deliveries for Tesla. NIO also has deliveries coming out for 2024. So we're going to be watching those very, very carefully. But look for a little retracement. It might actually try to make its way back up. As long as it holds above 252, it's going to retrace back up before it rejects again. So watch 252. If we hold above this, look for it to push back up to 258 or so, maybe a little bit higher before it rejects. If it loses 252, we're going to be watching for it to break towards 250 and even these lower levels. But I think it's going to try to push up and then come back down later on. I still favor that looking at the current chart. For Apple, that's going to be the last one I talk about before I break down NIO. Apple is trying to rebound, breaking out of its falling wedge, but it's kind of stuck between 194.4 as resistance and 193.5. If this thing tries to bounce, I think that whichever way it breaks is going to determine the direction for tomorrow. If we lose 193.5, we turn bearish. It could be coming down to 192.5. If we break above 194.4, we could be pushing for 195. We're kind of stuck in this range. We've been stuck for 1.5 days, so watch and see which way we break. As of right now, it's kind of indecisive. It is trying to favor the bulls, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, that's it for the main five. Now let's just talk about NIO. NIO, in my opinion, looks bullish. It's going to try to test the 200 EMA at 9.69. We have to see if NIO can break that or not. If we break resistance at the daily 200 EMA. We're going to be pushing for 10.22 at the 50 EMA on the weekly. If we fail to do so, watch support at $9. That's going to be a very important one. 8.7 and 8.4 for the gap fill if those break. In my opinion, it looks bullish. Nice uptrend. It's still making higher highs and higher lows. But watch this resistance. Can we break this? I think it's going to test 9.69. If it breaks, it's going to get very close to 10. If not, then it is what it is. But that's what I favor for NIO. I anticipate some upside for tomorrow. Might try to push up higher and try to test that EMA. If it manages to do so, watch for more upside. Anyways, that's it for the video, guys. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day and peace out.